Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. What a game last night in the World Series. Game 3, I think, ended, just maybe 5 hours ago, something like that. 6 hours, 39 minutes for that game to finish. Staying up for the whole thing, that was incredible to watch. That pitching, man, what a performance last night from those teams in extra innings. I mean, we watched a whole extra game. It went 18 innings. That's incredible. So what a game last night for the World Series. NFL watched a little bit of that game, probably turned it off once it got to halftime. I mean, I know 7-7 at halftime, but just really wasn't that interesting of a game. So I really didn't get too involved in that one. We will also recap what happened in college football this weekend. I'm going to go over my top 10, what I have here for college football. We're going to go over today's slate of action. We're going to take a quick look at Sunday's NFL action. So let's get into it. All right, so last night, World Series, Game 3, Freddie Freeman walks it off in the bottom of the 18th inning. That was incredible. Just a fun game to watch. Didn't have any bets going on that one. We'll have one later on today that we will cover at the end of the show, but that was just such a fun watch, man. And Will Klein, what he was doing last night pitching for the Dodgers, that was some incredible stuff. I mean, he just made some memorable plays there that I'm sure he's going to live on with forever. So that was a really great watch. But with your starting pitchers, you really didn't get what you wanted out of either of them. I mean, Scherzer and Glasnow, you hear those names and you expect great performances. You're like, oh, man, this game went 18 innings. These guys both must have gone 7 innings, 8 innings, throwing these incredible gems. No, they were both out, I believe, in the 4th or 5th inning, giving up a few runs each. So, not really what you want from your starters. However, today, now you've got Shane Bieber, you've got Shohei Ohtani. Are you going to have a better pitching performance? I would think so. So we'll see here. But what an incredible game. I mean, if we're looking at the line and the odds right now, one thing that I would have interest in would be really for the World Series winner would be the Blue Jays. I don't want to lay, I'm looking here, minus 590 for the Dodgers to win the World Series. But plus 360 is also not good enough for the Blue Jays. However, it's 2-1. I mean, if the Blue Jays can even that series out today, who knows? So that's something just to look at there for the World Series winner. I mean, we're almost done. This thing will be over by Saturday. So you got a game tonight. You've got a game Thursday. Game tonight. And then we have one Wednesday and then Friday, Saturday. I got my days mixed up. But yeah, so a few more games. Again, Friday, Saturday, if necessary. But we'll see. So we'll talk about this next game tonight. I do have a pick on that one. I'm liking what they've got as far as starting pitching. I think Ohtani's going to come out hot. I'm feeling like Shane Bieber is going to come out hot as well. So we may be looking somewhere at an under on that game. But, we'll talk more here at the end when I give out the picks. And then as the MLB is really starting to wind down now, I mean, college football, we are just in the heart of the schedule right now for college football. So we'll get into that here in a second, but I do want to put up the picks for the show. So far, we have gone 7 wins, 5 losses on the show here. Last night I gave out picks on winnable.com/Paul Rummy. You can always get my picks there every day for the days that we don't have a show as well. But so far, 7-5. Last night, I believe I went 1-2 on my picks that I did give out there, so it wasn't the greatest. Mariota under 18.5 completions. That didn't go well because he started off pretty hot, so that already put us in a hole. Pistons didn't show up. Jazz overtime, but they got it. They got the win in the cover there. That was all that mattered. So anyway, 7-5 on show picks. We will have 3 picks, I believe, for tonight, maybe only 2. And then we'll get into Wednesday's show and see what we have for the rest of the week. But that's what we are for last night. College football. I really want to get into this top 10. This is going to be pretty crazy here. So this is my college football top 10. Last week, Ole Miss was nowhere to be found. We had Notre Dame up there. We take a look at it now, and we have A&M jumped up to number 1. That was one of my favorite plays last weekend. A&M minus 2.5. Again, they got off to a slow start there, had some hiccups in the first half, but then second half just came out and just dominated in one of the toughest environments to play in, which is Death Valley there in LSU at a night game. Incredible job by them. That, to me, showed that they are capable of winning anywhere, anytime. This A&M team is going to be tough when it comes college football playoff time. I've got them ranked number 1. I don't believe Ohio State has shown enough to me to rank them as number 1. But again, they could, depending on what goes on the rest of the way. Indiana, I have number 2 there. They rolled against UCLA. A complete rout there. I thought UCLA might show up with a little something, might have a little gumption there, but no, none at all, as they got bulldozed by 50 points there pretty much. So Indiana, I moved them up to number 2. They just took care of business. They are just rolling through competition. They look good. So we're going Indiana number 2. Ohio State, again, they haven't really had that difficult of a test yet. I don't think they deserve to really be in that number 1 spot. That the only real test they had was that first game against Texas. But again, now we look at Texas. Were they really that good? I don't know. So Ohio State, I bumped them down to number 3. Alabama, we talked about that too. Close call there against South Carolina. Again, I didn't want to lay that 11, 10.5, whatever it was. Said this would be about a 7 to 10 point game, and there it was. So Alabama squeaked by to hold that number 4 spot there. But they do get it done in South Carolina. Georgia, idle last week, so they're going to maintain that number 5 spot there. I did mention in my show on Saturday, if Ole Miss wins in Oklahoma, after all the Lane Kiffin rumors, everything going on, I'm going to put them in my top 10, and it is well-deserved because the way they won that game was incredible. Ole Miss just really did not let Oklahoma get into any rhythm. They controlled that game. So Ole Miss, again, with Lane Kiffin talking to his players, having them motivated, I'm moving them up to number 6. That is a tough win to go into Oklahoma and win that game. We're moving Ole Miss up to number 6 there because I think Lane Kiffin's going to have this team ready come college football playoff time. Number 7 there, we got Vanderbilt. Tough win, defended their home turf against that tough Missouri defense. Well-deserved to go up there to number 7. Georgia Tech, Miami, they both handled business really as they should have. Nothing super impressive there. Both blowout wins, so they maintained those 2 spots there. And Oregon, I moved them down to number 10 from, I believe, number 7 last week. Average performance there with Dante Moore. He left the game early, or not early, but I believe it was the third quarter there. He ended up leaving. So fourth quarter, apologize. So, Oregon, you're laying 31.5, and you win by 14 at home against a Wisconsin team that just struggles to score. Not impressed there. Moving them down to 10. And this is what we've got for college football top 10. A lot of good games this weekend coming up. Again, we are going to talk about all that on Saturday morning. We're going to have a guest on the show Saturday morning. We're going to cover all college football to get you guys ready, get all your bets in time. So we will cover more of that. I might touch on college football again a little bit tomorrow, maybe give out a play for Saturday, just one play to look ahead to. But again, we'll touch on that more Saturday morning. So that's what we've got for college football here in my top 10 as well. Real quick, guys, also ProfitX, you can see at the top there. You can see at the ticker down below. Go to ProfitX, use the code Paul Rami. You get you 20% purchase match there up to $100. It's been incredible. That's what I use now. That's what I've got my odds up for. ProfitX is legal here in Texas, which is great. So I can play without having to worry about offshore or am I going to get screwed out of my money or what. So ProfitX is great. I love it. It looks just like a sports book here. So let's look at today's games. There's a few games in the NBA, one in particular that we really like, and that's going to be the Charlotte Hornets at the Miami Heat. This Hornets team, this Heat team, they both play really quick and they score a lot of points. Now, just looking at that right now, I believe Heat is I'm seeing about a -6 right now for the Heat, +6 there on the Hornets. Both teams, again, with this type of pace that they play, Miami has the first ranked pace in the league. Charlotte not far behind, but points per game wise, they're first and third. I mean, Charlotte is just scoring a lot this year. Miami as well. Both teams are just shooting really well field goal percentage wise. Charlotte's shooting 50% from the field, and Miami right behind them, 49%. 3-point field goals, they're both shooting really well as well. This feels like one of those games, even though it's a very high total. I'm seeing 241 and a half. I've got 240 and a half, 241. So this is one of those games, even with those high totals, we are not scared, and we will most likely be hopping on the over. So I'll give that out with the odds here at the end of the show. But that's going to be a fun one to watch. You got the Sixers at the Wizards. Again, I believe Joel Embiid, I believe he will be out for that game. Let me double check what information I have there, but I believe he's out. Yeah, he's going to be out for this game here. I'm sorry, that was on Monday. Okay, so let me refresh my injury update here. So he may be in. I'm not sure. Again, well, that's one of those games we'll have to wait on. But you've got Sixers at the Wizards. That's going to be not great television. Kings at the Thunder. That should actually be a fun one to watch there. Thunder, again, have been just rolling there. They look good. They look like they are the championship team, rightfully so. They're 4-0. Laying there, I believe, about a 10.5 number. I can give you the actual number right here, right now. That is 10.5. Big number, but we've seen they can get that done. Knicks at the Bucks. That will be an interesting one. Are we going to have any injuries that we really need to look out for that game? Maybe. So let me go ahead and pull up the injuries that we've got right now on that one. Again, Karl-Anthony Towns, per usual, is questionable. Mitchell Robinson out. Really, Karl-Anthony Towns is the only one. On the Bucks side, Kuzma was game time decision. That's not really anything that's going to matter. That's going to move this line at all. New York -1, Milwaukee there. So with this game, New York, they look good. They look like a good, tough team, resilient team. They're 2-1 there. We had them last week. Again, I tweeted out against the Celtics to pick that one up, but they lost again on the road to the Heat. That was one of those where it was probably just a look-ahead spot. I know early in the season, really shouldn't be getting into those look-ahead spots, but that could have been the case there as they came off those two big opening wins against the Cavs and the Celtics. Again, they look forward to the Heat. It's kind of brush it over, lose that game, and now you're back, all right, on the road at the Bucks here. Let's refocus. However, this Bucks team, they can score. They just came off a big loss there on the road at Cleveland. Now coming back home against the Knicks. This is a spot where we really like to take Milwaukee on something like this. Right now, I'm looking at the money line again with only the 1 point spread. Doesn't really, I mean, it does make a difference. You have those games where you've got the 1 point, but we're going to be looking at the money line on that one here later on in the show. So just a quick look at today's NBA action. Then you have there the Clippers at the Warriors. Most likely going to be staying off that one. Would be a fun one to watch. Warriors last night beat the Grizzlies, handle business, no problem. Clippers, slight favorite now on the road against Golden State. So, might give the Clippers some look there at the -2. But, Golden State +2, I believe you can get +1.5, +1.5, +2, maybe 2.5. If you want Golden State, wouldn't be bad also. I mean, you get one of the best teams in the NBA at home, you're getting plus money. You just take that. You just take the points with Golden State there, even though against I believe the Blazers game that they played, it didn't end that way. So that might be one to look at. Golden State at home. So far, again, they're 3-1. They just lost there was that Blazers game they lost, but that one was on the road. At home, they're 3-0. So maybe one where you just take Golden State +2 just because it's the Warriors. You got Steph Curry, you've got Jimmy Butler, you've got guys who can handle business and take that. So college football, we're not going to talk too much about today's games for college football. Not a lot there that we're liking. We're most likely going to save that again for tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, the weekend as well. And then as far as the NFL, quick recap over just what we saw over the weekend. I mean, Bills, they got back to their ways, blowout win there. Defense looks much improved, 7 sacks, 1 interception on Andy Dalton there, also forcing 3 fumbles. Bills team, a lot of talk was, is this the year they're starting to decline? But again, that was against the Panthers. They got that win. They're obviously a tough team. You can get them right now about -140 to win the division. If you think the Patriots aren't for real, that Patriots team looks good, though. I mean, blowing out the Browns is a 7-point favorite. They win by 21. So really now you kind of think also looking at the Browns, what's their QB situation? What are they going to do? Do they keep Gabriel in there? I mean, my thought is they give Gabriel one more shot. Next game against the Jets on the road. So you got a bye week here. You have 2 weeks to prepare. You go to New York, let the kid play. If he plays well, perfect. Keep him in against the Ravens the following week. If he looks terrible that week, which he probably will, then you go with Tutu Shador and you see what you've got there. Give him that opportunity against the Raiders the following week. So you're probably going to see Shador Sanders here by that Raiders game. That's what I'm thinking here. I don't think Gabriel is going to keep this job. There's going to be too much pressure on this team to really get something out of Gabriel. And if they don't, they're going to almost be forced to go to Shador there and just see what you can get out of him. So look for him, Shador Sanders, to start by that week, I believe 11 there, or week 12 against the Raiders. That's kind of the timeline we're looking at here. Another game we looked at, Tampa Bay, they got it done. Poor performance from Baker Mayfield. They go into the bye week now with a very interesting game coming up. They've got the Patriots following that bye week. That's going to be a great one to watch. Early lead is going to be Patriots on that game just because Mike Vrabel has those boys playing incredible. Drake May, he's got him playing out of his mind. So that might be a one that we look at the Patriots again. We'll have more on that in the later shows. But, really 2 6-2 teams going to go head to head. again, the records will be different then, that really could make a playoff run. But one that we really like, another 6-2 team, a little bit unexpected, not incredibly unexpected, that looks good, that can make a run because they have the coach, they have the defense. That's going to be the Denver Broncos. That team, if you watch those games, I mean, to come back in that fourth quarter against the Giants and put up 33, 34 points, whatever it was, that was something. And then what they did to the Cowboys, I know the Cowboys, they're not the best, but still they took care of business. That's the thing. You get teams who take care of business when they should. And that's what the Broncos did here. So I want to look real quick just to see what some live odds are here for the NFL and see who our Super Bowl winner is, who we can get. I mean, if you like the Denver Broncos, I'm seeing right now 23-1, so plus 2,300 we're looking at for the Broncos. You can get on Profit X. Again, I love Profit X. However, there's not a lot of liquidity there, but there will be more as the season rolls in. As the season goes on, you're going to start to see those lines move. You're going to start to get more liquidity. So you can get that right now, plus 2,300 for the Broncos. I like that for a future. I may lock that in here in a little bit, but I will tweet that out if I do end up locking in the Broncos for a future in the NFL. But anyways, we'll talk more about what's coming up on Sunday's NFL action on Saturday morning's show. We may touch a little bit about it tomorrow, but Saturday's when we're going to hit all of our college football, all of our NFL action as well. Let's go ahead and get into the picks. So I talked about a little bit what I've got coming up. Last week, again, gave out A&M minus 2.5 on Wednesday. That one hit. The others on Saturday, UCLA didn't show up. That one was a loss there. Ole Miss took them with the points, didn't need the points. They won on the money line. And then that over for the Vanderbilt, Missouri game, they had no offense there. Either team, both defenses really stepped up. So we went 2-2 on Saturday's action last week. So for today's picks, let me get back to what we looked at here in the NBA. We're going to go with the Hornets at the Heat. Go back to that game there. That total that we're looking at, we can get 241. I don't want the hook. I don't want the 241.5. So we're going to take the Hornets the Hornets and the Heat over 241. And then let's see what the odds are here. We're looking at minus 105. So Hornets and Heat over 241. That's a high number, but I think both these teams, they can get it done. Those offenses are just rolling right now. So we're going Hornets, Heat over 241. I want to go back to the World Series game. Actually, let me go to the other NBA game real quick first. So we're going to go back to the Knicks at the Bucks. Again, this is a spot I think the Bucks just handle business here. They're going to get back to their winning ways here. So we're going to go Bucks money line plus 111. So Milwaukee, we're going Bucks plus 111. So we're getting a little bit of a plus money here, which is great. I'm not going to take the 1 point. Again, we're just going to go straight for Bucks to win there. And then last pick for tonight, we're going to go back into Major League Baseball. We are going to go first inning total runs, no runs, first inning. I'm getting a minus 107 right here. So we're going no runs, first inning. Blue Jays, Dodgers. I'm making sure I lock this all in so we can track everything for the show. No runs, first inning, minus 107. So we're taking all those three picks tonight. Again, I'm going to post those here shortly on winnable.com/Paul Rami. So for anyone that missed it, you can get those there as well. Always find my picks there no matter what day it is. I'm going to post them all there. Again, ProfitX, go check it out. That's what I use it for all my odds. It's great. It looks clean, user friendly. They've got some great lines there. Your house, so you're betting against other people, which is great. You get better odds. So use my code Paul Rami there for ProfitX. Again, you get 20% up to $100 purchase cash match there. That is all that we've got for today's show. Thank you for all those that tuned in. Thank you to those who are going to watch the replay. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.